Hi everyone, I'm Avril. I'm on the right-hand side of your screen.
And I'm Linda on the left-hand side of your screen.
I'm from Bishop's University, which is in the province of Quebec in Canada.
And I am from the University of Ottawa in Ontario.
So we're both teacher educators, and we've been working on a project that Linda will be telling you about.
This project involves creating learning experiences for pre-service teachers to inquire into Canada's dark history of legislating Aboriginal children to be taken from their homes and put into residential schools where they often suffered horrendous abuse. This digital inquiry hinges on the recent Truth and Reconciliation Commission's recommendations in Canada that post-secondary institutes must be responsible for educating all Canadians of this past. Of particular importance to our students as pre-service teachers, educators are being called upon to develop and implement kindergarten to grade 12 curriculum and learning resources on Aboriginal peoples and Canadian history and the history and legacy of residential schools. Share information and best practices on teaching curriculum related to residential schools and Aboriginal history, and build student capacity for intercultural understanding, empathy, and mutual respect. As a means to foster this important work, the culminating task for our courses provides the students with the opportunity to contribute to a collective experience for the campus community members that will engage them in building knowledge and a sense of responsiveness and our shared responsibility to the impact of colonialism and colonization using points of augmented reality across campus.
Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about our collective creative experience. Linda and I have been working together. We taught together for several years at Bishop's University, and we planned collaboratively, and since that time we've been researching collaboratively as well. So even though we live about 4 hours apart, we do our writing through Skype, and we really actually, when we're together and working on something, people comment that it's like two brains working together at the same time. So one of us often has an idea and the other will say, well, I don't know, how's that going to work, and tell me more about what you think. And so we move forward in a very iterative way where we really bring similar and different ideas to the table. We both feel really strongly about our responsibility to reconciliation and to using our role as teacher educators to move forward with reconciliation. And so this was an ideal opportunity for us to think about how to operationalize it while at the same time modeling digital literacy for our students. Like we're risk takers, and we want our students to see that through our experimentation that they too should be free to experiment and try things out. So in terms of who brought what, it's kind of hard for us to say that. In fact, to a certain extent, we attended the same tips and tools session so we could talk about them, and then at a certain point we split into two so that each of us could bring something from another's either productive experimentations, the afternoon sessions, or the tips and tools. So we could deconstruct our project for you to let you see specifically what each of us had done, but it truly is a collaborative work, and that's really just the way we are. And in fact, we've made a movie about our collaborative work together. Okay, so what's next on the list? Oh, learning about ourselves.
Right. I was just sort of thinking as we were writing the piece together and thinking about how, well, we were trying to support the students in developing their own skills at planning for learning experiences while engaging in this difficult history, that of course we ourselves were immersed again in this difficult history and looking for different videos and narrative moments that we could use as an introduction to the unit, which again I think was quite emotional for us when we were once again, sort of diving into this very dark part of our own past, and thinking about how we are going to help our students think about how they'll be supporting their students and learning about it in the future.
This sort of multi-level, thinking about our students, thinking about their students is something that is really part of our practice, and both of us have worked with notions of metacognition with our students, so they're familiar with it, we're familiar with it. We often work with the same students for several years in a row, and so this whole process of understanding ourselves, understanding our ways of learning and engaging, it's really part of our own practice. Okay, what's next? Oh, implementation. Okay, so I actually begin working with the students on August 25th, and I'm going to begin implementing our project. I teach in blocks, and so I'll begin on August 25th, and I'll have my students for 12 hours over the course of 3 weeks, and during that time they'll be working on using Aurasma to create these augmented reality points across campus. So Linda will be picking up later, and so I'll be conferring with her in an ongoing way as I sort of pilot the project, and then
I'll be very fortunate to have watched Avril first try it out with her students, and then I'll be beginning, I think it is September 11th, and my students, their course it's a Schooling and Society course, and it runs for 12 weeks, 3 hours a week. So this will be their culminating task.
Okay, sounds good. Have we included everything?
I think we have.
Implementation, okay. Yeah, so I just want to draw your attention to how we have used Bool to show the different tools that we'll be using in what we feel is a very purposeful way. I really want to underline that, like Linda and I have been using digital storytelling and multimodal representations with students for some time and researching about it, but using all of these particular tools is new to us, and we feel really energized and thrilled by what they contribute to the work that we're trying to do.
And I know that students are going to really appreciate having the opportunity to work with these during their teacher education program, because once again, it's going to be something they can use in their own classrooms with their future students.
Yeah, and in relation to that, I found the sessions so helpful because we were launched right into practicing with them. So we were able to really experiment with them and feel that we could build our own capacity in using them. We've already used 8 minutes. They're probably bored. Okay.
It's time to say thank you so much for the great experience.
Yep, thank you. We're probably on the road right now because Quebec and Ontario are much further away from Rhode Island than either of us imagined. So
all the best, and thanks again.
Thank you. Bye-bye.